the majority of the cage is done. Pretty much all the tube work. So we've got everything done from like the rear landing pads. I tied into the shock towers from these upper nodes, and also to where the door bars are. Harness bars in, door bars are in. I still have some gussets to do. I have to figure out where I am. So like we figured out the seating position for me based off of the pedals and where the wheel was. So I gotta put the steering wheel and stuff back in. And I wanna figure out where to mount my Hydro e-brake, because I wanna finish all the fabrication as far as the interior stuff goes, so I can just be weld it all in and be done. And then I can paint it all and start actually putting the car together. I put some vents in the roof, so those are figured out. So on rally cars, you'll commonly see some form of roof scoop, and that's kind of to positively pressurize the cabin and try to keep dirt out. These are actually off of box trucks. They're, I don't know, like 30 bucks a piece for this little aluminum guy. And then they keep the rain out if you keep them shut, which is nice. You can also put them into vacuum mode if you want to. So if you're coming into the rain or something like that and you need some fresh air, it's not too bad. So you've got some options. Gussets. So pretty important part of any cage work to kind of stiffen the chassis and make it a little more sound is to gusset everything. So these are the A-pillar gussets here, which will fit really snugly in here, and I'll weld those in once the cage is all welded and the roof's back on. Dimple dies for style points, and so you can see what's going on. And on this one, you see I put one small dimple die because my VIN tag used to be there, so now I can put it here. I saved a little space for it. So we're finally at the stage where I have to weld all the remaining parts of the cage. And there's a couple different ways you can do that. You can cut holes in the floor and drop the cage down, which would have meant I had to leave a lot of tubes off so that it would drop. I could have built little boxes in the corners so I can pull those out and drop it down, but kind of the same scenario, some difficulty there. Or option number 3 is you can cut the roof off altogether. And that seems more daunting, but from others I've talked to, it's actually a little more straightforward. So I'm gonna give that a shot on this project, and we're gonna see how it goes. Yeah, now that the cage is out, I spent most of last night welding it all the joints. So I think I have all of that done. I'm gonna give it another screen later once I'm a little less tired. But for now, I'm moving on to gussets. So part of the rules for this is I need a gusset on either side of this joint here, and then the same deal with these. But because of the size of those gussets, I can't put 2 separate taco style gussets here, so I am just gonna box the whole thing in. So I've got a bunch of templates I was playing with. So I've got these figured out on paper. I'm gonna trace them out onto steel, lay out some dimple dies and stuff, and try to make 4 identical pieces, weld all these in. I have to do the same with this back triangle here, and then I have to do a similar situation on the B-pillar X. So still plenty of work going on as far as the cage goes. This should be pretty much it. dimple die. There's 2 lefts and 2 rights, so don't mess that up.
He's just kind of being a bitch about these like gusset pieces.
He's setting his configuration.
So he's having a hard time doing this, getting this piece in without it kinking on the top, right? He wants it to be like a nice round, like a similar shape to the bar, but he can't get it to bend itself over without kinking in the middle.
Do you know why that is though?
What?
Because there's not enough space for a dimple die there, but I wanted a dimple die there, and that's what's making this process hard.
Yeah, this would have been a lot easier.
This is me making it harder on myself.
All of this could be avoided if he just didn't do it the way he insisted on doing it. He'd be fine. Everything is because of you.
Yes.
You did this to yourself.
He's right.
And what's going to happen is he's going to think he got it figured out and go to do the same thing on that upper one, and it's not going to work.
Good thing there's only one of those. You'll be less concerned about that one.
It's great working
You also
with
don't.
friends.
You also don't have to look at that one. It's behind your head.
All right, come help me start this taco bending process. The wood is only there to not mar it like I did on the other one where it put vice marks in it. Slip that betwixt, other way. Okay, now pick it up until it's touching the dimple die.
Pick it up till it's touching.
Touching.
Okay.
Okay. We're snug it a little. Now we need to make sure it's even left to right.
That way.
Well, this way. Like this doesn't matter because they're different angles. This part matters.
Yeah, that way. That's what I said.
Okay. We've done
I think it's a little too tight. Well, that last one might have. No, I still think
It's
it
close.
needs to rotate.
Close.
Okay.
Close enough for who it's for. Which is me.
But that's not okay. The thing on the stage is not okay.
So what I did wrong last time is I tried to bend it all the way over and this side sprung back. This time we need to flip it so I can start the bend near the dimple die on both sides.
Yeah, sure. That looks good.
4 2x4, man. It's had a rough day.
You're at the dimple. So.
Yeah, because that's how I bent the last one.
Yeah, before you hammer the dimple. You need to like crank and tap it at the same time to help it. That's all.
And that's the smell of burning clamp. Sorry. That's fine. He likes it. Cool.
Mint.
2 out of 3. There's just the way harder one to do now. It seems really heavy because I don't think anyone else is trying to pick it up.
Shane, look out.
Matt, you look out.
This is harder than the roof that you did and you didn't do this.
This is harder than the roof. Roof, rough.
You got it? You good?
Hey, can I go outside the inside the car when you guys?
What are you talking about?
There we go. Now you're out.
Shane's navigating. Okay.
Forward.
Forward? You can't. It's against the. Oh.
There is no
It's
forward.
against things.
There's no forward.
Change forward too.
It's not. It's against
It
the
could go
frame.
forward more if we went your way.
I can't go my way.
There we go. There it is.
Okay.
Now slip. It'll go. It'll go. Give her a little. Yeah. Sail wasn't so bad.
So we're going to sand this corner just a little bit. It looks like it's holding it up just a little bit. So we'll play with that and get it to sit nice. Then I'm going to drop the roof back on because the roof is what's going to center the top of the cage. It has a little wiggle room left to right, but it touches the A-pillar all the way around. So I'm going to clamp the roof back on, make sure the cage is in there square. Then I'll tack the cage to the floor, pull the roof back off, weld everything, and put the roof back on. This whole on, off, in, out situation. All right, so we have the cage in the car, welded in. The roof is tacked on right now. I'm about to finish weld it. The original plan was to leave the roof off, kind of try to spray paint what I can of the cage, put the roof on, and then finish painting everything. But after talking with the scrutineers, it turns out it'd be a little better for me and them to kind of see the cage unpainted. That way, if I have to add anything, I don't have to remove paint, and they can kind of get a clearer picture of what I've done. So I'm gonna weld all this on for good. We have it test fit on here. I had to massage a little bit here so it fit nice. And yes, so now it's time to weld it. Putting stuff together enough to make it a roller so that I can bring it to go get logbooked. So that's the next big hurdle for this car. Before I paint anything, I want it logbooked and signed off in case I have to add a gusset or change something. It's way easier before I paint it. So hopefully I'll be able to do that Friday, but till then I need to be able to get the car in my trailer and bring it somewhere. So I need wheels for that. All right, so I'm back from 8 hours of driving today, but I have a logbook. So the guys were super chill, very knowledgeable, so pretty cool. They checked everything over, even complimented a couple things, which is nice. But we should be good to go. Can paint things now. They drill a hole to check cage thickness, so that's what this guy is here. But kind of just gave everything a really solid once over, and now I can race it. All right, so in this episode, we wrapped up all the cage things, got it logbooked, got it painted, although it's not painted yet. So that's exciting milestones that'll really kind of get the car moving and back assembled. Coming up next, I'm gonna finally put the engine together with all sorts of fancy parts. I'm really excited about that. And everything should start to look like a car again. So make sure you follow along, like and subscribe, all that stuff. You can follow me on Instagram at Mike the Day. Follow us at ECS Tuning for other project updates. And we'll see you next time.